What's your response to the vice president's defense of pardoning some of these violent offenders?
Well, I don't want to hear Donald Trump or J.D. Vance or anyone else in this administration talk about backing the blue, talk about supporting law enforcement when they just released over 1,000 cop beaters, people who brutally beat our law enforcement. I was there. I saw it firsthand. America saw it firsthand. The video is available for anybody to view. The brutality, the injuries, over 150 of these officers still have injuries, several of whom lost their lives because of the injuries and trauma incurred on that day. We even had the Fraternal Order of Police come out and issue a statement condemning the pardons. So clearly, they're not interested in supporting law enforcement. This was a political decision and a really repugnant one at that.
I want to ask you more about that, but I have to address the elephant in the room, too, because Monday, hours before leaving office, Joe Biden, then still president, preemptively pardoned his own siblings and their spouses, even though they have not been charged with any crimes. Senator Tim Kaine said the decision makes it harder for Democrats to stand on the high ground and make a critique of the Trump pardons. Do you agree it muddies moral clarity?
No, what I think happens here is that it shows very clearly the decision of an outgoing president to try to protect his family when you have an incoming president and those around him who are repeatedly threatening his family, right? That is the story here, that you have Donald Trump who has doubled down, who has tripled down on threats against Joe Biden, on threats against outgoing administration officials simply for doing their job in many cases. This is a president, President Trump, who continues to threaten political opponents and is making every move right now in the early days of his administration to try to put in motion things to go after and to use the force of government now to go after his political opponents.
I hear you on concerns about retribution, but you were plain spoken when Joe Biden pardoned his son Hunter, who had been convicted of multiple crimes. And in fact, you said in very clear terms, you thought that it did create problems.
Yeah,
for
in that
Democrats.
instance, I did. I
You see a
thought that there
difference.
was a conflict of interest that undermined the integrity of the process. And what I would like to see overall is pardon reform. Very clearly, there needs to be some guardrails put in place and some reform of the pardon process. And I think most Americans would agree with this to make sure that it's not misused, because a lot of this is about the perception of America. People need to know that the person sitting in the Oval Office has their best interests in mind at all times. And certainly not with Donald Trump right now can they have that feeling of trust and confidence, because in 5 days into this administration, the abuse is already rampant.
To go back to January 6th,